Afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all that you do for CART. We're here to talk tonight about what we want to do about pets. Pets is a wonderful opportunity to get CART in front of people. The folks who attend pets are generally about to become club presidents. And the most important 6 months of their lives in terms of being a club president is January to June this year, before they actually take the gavel to be president, because that's when they do their planning. And if they plan well, then their year as president goes very well. If they don't plan well, we won't talk about that. So at Pets, you get to meet these folks and you get to encourage them in their planning. And one of the things we really want them to do in their planning is to appoint a CART advocate for their clubs. A CART advocate may or may not be familiar to you, but a CART advocate is someone who can educate the club members, someone who can advocate for CART among the club members, someone who can stand up in a meeting and encourage people to donate either through the blue buckets or through the portal. A club advocate is also someone who can arrange a program for that club about CART and about Alzheimer's. And so if you would encourage the folks you meet at Pets to select and appoint a CART advocate for their clubs, that would be terrific. Also, if they would do that, then that's one more person you as a district chair can communicate with and get the message to. Those of you who have been club presidents recognize that as a club president, you get bombarded with lots and lots of information from all kinds of sources. And so if you have a CART advocate in a club, then you as a district chair can communicate directly to that person whose emphasis is about CART and about Alzheimer's, and it will take a lot of burden off the club president. One of the messages we want to get out there in Pets to all the folks you talk to is that we give 100% of what is donated to research. Every single dollar, dime, quarter, and nickel that is donated to CART goes to research. You cannot say that about the Murray Foundation. You cannot say that about Alzheimer's Association. You cannot say that about 99% of nonprofits. But we can say that routinely and truthfully because every single thing that's donated to CART goes to research. We believe that in a few weeks, we will be ready to give away $1.5 million this year for research in the form of grants. And that is going to be a record year for us in terms of awarding grants to researchers to try to find a cure for Alzheimer's. And we're very proud of that. And you should be too, and you should convey that information to those people at Pets. Invite people at Pets to attend the events that we have. They're well advertised on DAC-DB. The conversations is open to everybody. That's a once a month deal. The lunch a la cartes are open to everybody. That's a once a month deal. Both of them are wonderful opportunities to provide information to clubs. And if you can get that information out to the club president-elects and to the future advocates, then that would truly help our audience. But not only that, it would help pass the information out to lots and lots of people. One more thing that's important that you get across to people, we are not a Rotary International program. They should not encourage their treasurers to write checks to us through Rotary International. We won't get the money. We are a partner with Rotary districts and a partner with Rotary clubs, but we are not a program of Rotary International. We're completely separate from RI. The last thing I want to talk to you about is, as you're talking to the club president-elects, please emphasize to them that we are very much interested in their members as Rotarians, but we're also interested in their members' friends, people who are not part of Rotary, but who may have a clue about Alzheimer's, who may have a connection with Alzheimer's, and it would help us and them in terms of passing information about who we are and what we're doing for Alzheimer's to their club members and to the community outside of the club.
The first thing I wanted to do is just run through some very quick tips and tricks, things that are best practices if you are doing a display or an exhibit. Most of you will be either at a multi-district or single district pets, and a few of you are going to be displaying and sharing information at your local district's conference. And so it'll be a little bit different depending on who your audience is. But for those of you who are at multi-district pets, I've already shared with you who all of the district chairs are, who the district governor lines are, and things like that. And so we appreciate that you're going to be helping us with all of that as well. We want to encourage you to wear your cart attire if you have it. If you don't have some, we're going to be having more coming up on the website before too much longer. But just wear blue and yellow or the turquoise color. Wear some cart branded attire. It is, if you have it. Be knowledgeable and prepared when you get there. If you are a district chair and you're going to be at your district conference, have some reports with you, knowing which clubs are already supporting or which clubs are zero giving clubs. Know who your district leadership is. Know that giving history. Know how many members in your district are recurring donors. Know where you need to work. Like if you know that there are a couple of zero giving clubs in your district and you're at your district conference and you know who those are in advance, that's a great opportunity to seek out leadership or membership from those clubs. The same is true if you're at a multi-district pets and you know that there is a district that does not yet have a district chair, then you know which governor leadership you need to reach out to help them to find leadership. We want you to be social and we want you to share what you're doing. We are so appreciative of you guys using your time to support us. So we want you to take pictures of yourself at the booth if you're willing, or visitors to the booth if they are willing to let you do that. Take some pictures of a district governor leadership or an incoming president, or ask them to take pictures that they'll share back on their social media pages to promote that they were there doing some training, that they're learning more about us. Engage in conversation with these people. As Rod said, ask them what their membership goals are. Do they have a per capita goal? Do they already support CART? Why or why not? Do they even know what CART is? Do they have a personal Alzheimer's story? People love to tell those stories. And if you get them engaged in conversation, they're going to have a better opportunity for them to become longtime supporters of CART. We're going to ask you to collect some information about the people that you meet, whether it's a business card. If you want to put a bucket there, they could toss their business card in it, or a sign-up sheet. If sometimes club presidents don't have business cards, but they could easily fill out a sign-up sheet, which we're going to provide to you. I'll share that in a little bit. But then after the fact, you'll have a list of people that perhaps are interested in either becoming a club advocate or having a program at their club or getting on our newsletter. And then we're going to ask you to collect that data and share it with me when you get back. I will add them to the newsletter list. We can add them to the CART Conversations email list every month if they want to know about that. If they are interested in learning more about how to become a club chair or a club advocate, we can share with them the job description that we have for that. So it's a great opportunity to capture contact information for the people that you meet. We want to remind you that we are on a lot of social media accounts. So when you're taking pictures and meeting people, we want you to remind people that they can tag us and you can. And those are Facebook, Twitter, X, and LinkedIn. So we want to encourage you, if you joined our conversations call last a few weeks ago for this month, you know that we had a great discussion about LinkedIn, and CART does have a page there, so you can tag us on there using pictures of yourself or those people that you meet, and we would love for you to do that. I'm going to encourage you to have some sort of contact information that you can share with the people you meet of how to reach out back to you, whether it's a business card of your own or the one-page flyer that we have created. And I'll share that again for those of you who haven't seen it yet, where you can add your contact information to it. You'll have to print those in advance, or if it's going to be at a district conference, then you can encourage your district governor to include that in a training or in a handout or a publication or a gift welcome bag, something like that. But we'll give it to you camera ready. You can either put a sticker on it, especially to multi-district pets where we have, for example, Michelle and Randy are going to be handling the Florida pets, and Frank is going to be handling Carolina's pets. And so they're going to be meeting people from 6, 7, 8 different districts. And this will be a great way that they can then share information for the correct district chair for the area that they're working with. So if you don't have a business card that you intend to hand out and you would like that one-page flyer either customized for you or just the generic one, I'm going to show you where to find that in a few minutes. While you're there that weekend or day or whatever the time frame is, we encourage you to seek out the host organizing committee or the chair of the vendors or the chair of the event and say thank you to them. Just let them know how much we appreciate being included and involved in this. We want to make sure we're following all of their rules, but we want to say thank you to them because I've said this on numerous occasions, but we are a guest of Rotary clubs and Rotary districts. And so we want to make sure that they know we appreciate that and they continue to invite us to be part of what they're doing. And then as far as those being some do's, some good do's for your tips, I have a few don'ts also. And I only mention these, even though I know that most of you would never, ever do these, but it does not go without saying, unfortunately. We have to remind folks of these things, that we are not there to sell a product. So we're not selling raffle tickets. We're not selling our individual club or district fundraisers. Most of these events, and Carol is on the executive committee for Carolina's Pets, she could also share that there are vendors who pay a different amount of money to be at these events. We are there usually for free or a very minor payment to have our booth space, with the understanding that we are not there to sell. So please don't take an item unless you have it's your only district. Then it might be different, but especially at these multi-district pets. We don't want to be over eager or aggressive or pushy. If someone says, I know what cart is, I have no interest in it, then just say thank you and let them move on. If you have an opportunity to say, tell me what the problem is, or how can I give you some more information, or is there someone that you can talk to, we're fine with that. But we don't want to be forcing people to take information that they don't want. We don't want anyone to feel like they never should have stopped by your booth. We want them to have a really good experience. Remember, you're there on behalf of CART, and so it's not the time to be sitting there scrolling, you're answering your emails, scrolling through your phone or your iPad, unless, of course, you're pulling up some reports on the portal. And then, of course, we would love for you to share that information if you know how. Please do not speak negatively about our other vendors or other brands or other Rotary projects. We don't ever want to say anything negative about other organizations that might also have the same goal as us, maybe with Alzheimer's, or other nonprofits that are being partnered with from other districts or clubs. There are a million Rotary projects out there, and we're grateful to be one of those. And so we want to make sure that we're very supportive of all of them. Please don't leave your booth unattended unless someone is there to take care of it for you. For the most part, these events are very structured, and the people who are going to them already know what the schedule is. So when folks are going into the sessions, there's a lot of downtime. That's the time to go and get your lunch, get your snacks, go to the restroom, things like that, because there's a very limited time that folks have to come during breaks to actually visit with these vendors. So we want to make sure that someone is always there if there is a break, and that they have an opportunity to come by and see you. Please don't use outdated cart materials, our old logo that still has the Rotary cog on it, or old Rotary materials either. We want to make sure that people understand that we are cognizant of branding and marketing. And when I say the new Rotary logo, remember that it came out in 2016. It's not new. When I say the new cart logo, remember it's been out almost 2 years, so it's really not new either. But we want to make sure we're using the correct branding and correct logos. And then I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. Y'all know how I'm about ideas. Some maybe, is it possible to? Here's some things you might want to try. And it depends on how the booths are set up, how the room is laid out. But is it possible to push your table to the back of the space and stand in front of it rather than behind it? That way you have an opportunity to talk to people more often. You're easier to access. People don't feel like you're disconnected from them. So that might be an option. Can you give something away? Do you have a door prize, or do you have some candies that you can give? A lot of us use things like the gold foil wrapped chocolate coins, or the $1 million candy bars or a door prize, you know, anything that maybe was donated or that you have. We've done several different things over the years, depending on where we are. If you have permission to do that from your host organizing committee, we are fine with that. We don't necessarily have something that we can provide to you right now. Hopefully this time next year, that will be a different story. But we do, if you want to give something away in an effort to collect their business cards and their contact information, we are fine with that if you want to do it. If you get a chance and there's some downtime, maybe you shoot a video of yourself or maybe some folks that you know. We talked about taking pictures and posted them. What about taking that one step further and actually shooting a video of someone? If someone comes up to you and says, oh my gosh, I love CART. I've always been a big supporter of CART. I really want to make this a priority during my year as governor or my year as president. Why not whip out your phone and shoot a quick video of them saying that on video? Then you can send it to me. We can use it on our social media. Maybe it's what their Alzheimer's story is. Maybe it's why they like CART so much. Maybe it's something that has stood out to them. They heard a researcher speak one time. We would love to have all of that data, that material to use if we can. And I can't be in every place and I don't know every person. So if you meet those people and they don't want to do it right then, write their name down, write it next to their name, say would be willing to tell their story, and then you can share that with us later. But photos and videos for later are always helpful. Ask for volunteers. Tell them that you're looking for more than just as for their club to take this on as a project or their district. But as Rod said, we're looking for club advocates in every club in every district, because that makes the job of the district chair so much easier. And we can help you as a district chair to set up a committee in DACTB so that you can communicate with those people. And I know several districts already have those, but some do not yet. I know some of you are already working on that. Heather is doing a great job of putting that together in her district. And it is an easy way to communicate with these people. If you can gather that information and encourage them to set up a club advocate in every club, then we can help you communicate with them from your district directly. This is also an opportunity. If you have looked at the report and you know who in your district is a recurring donor, you can say thank you to them. You can also give them a pin and take a picture of them that we can share. We have those special recurring donor pins that we give out. Many people have them. Some people do not have them yet. So we rely on you to help us with that. If you need a few of those and you don't have any, let me know. I can get you a few more. But we also have generic CART fund pins, and there is no prerequisite to giving those away. If you feel like someone says, oh, I love CART, I've always been a big supporter, and you want to give them a pin to wear back into their district session or back to their club meeting, we have those available. If you don't have any, let me know. I'll be happy to send you some. The final thing I want to mention is a resource page that we have to show you what the displays look like. And so basically, and then I'm going to open this up for questions if you guys have any, because I know we're covering a lot of information. But basically, what they're going to provide for you is a table and a tablecloth. We do have CART branded tablecloths available for purchase. We have a limited number, only maybe 2 actually, that we have that we can share amongst folks. But if you would like to purchase one, or your district would like to pay for you to purchase one, I'm going to show you where you can do that. So other than that, what you will want to take with you is a supply of blue buckets, and the little blue buckets, which are free. So I want you to make this list, but we're going to email all of this to you afterwards as well. And if you are missing anything from this list, if you will let me know tonight, I will put things in the mail to you tomorrow, because I know many of these are coming up this weekend, and this will be the last chance to get things out to you. But we want you to take a stash of little blue buckets. If you have the old style little blue buckets, they have the old CART logo with the rotary cog on it. Then we're going to ask you to also make available the stickers to cover those up. And I'm going to show you where all of these documents are. But we have 2 different ones. We have one that has the correct CART logo and website. And we have one that says donate now, and it has the QR code that takes you directly to mycartfund.org. We have this as a document on this. It's 6-up on a PDF. So you just print it yourself on 6-up Avery labels, and then you can stick those on. If you would like to take a supply of those with you and have them at your table in case people say, well, we already have buckets. We've had them for years, and you want to offer them these. Or you can offer them that we can email it to them and you can let them print their own, but you'll need to get their contact information so that we can do that. But I'm going to show you again in a moment where those are. But you're welcome to print some and take them with you if you would like. If you have the new version of the bucket, that is already on there pre-printed. The other thing we would like to ask you to take to help make your table more visually appealing is a big blue bucket. You can purchase those at Lowe's. It is a very large blue bucket. And what we also, it just looks really good on the table. You can put some yellow tissue paper coming out from it, and it's very eye-catching. But there are 2 sheets of paper that you can laminate and attach to this bucket. If you did this last year, I mailed you in the mail copies of these already laminated, but I don't have any of those right now. But you can download them from the resource page that I'm going to share with you in a minute. But you can print this side, which is called logo, or the QR code that says donate now. And these are formatted on 8.5 by 11, so that all you have to do is print them. If you want to laminate them, you can. You don't have to. You can stick them to the side of the big blue bucket. Those buckets are available at Lowe's for about $6 if you're willing to buy one and use it. That's too much for us to ship to you, obviously, but we are happy to ship little blue buckets to you if you need them. You just need to let me know. And then the other thing that we're going to ask you to take with you and have available is the sign-up sheet. There are available for download. You can take a blank clipboard and just put it down on a piece of paper with an ink pen, maybe take several copies. If you are going to a multi-district pets, you'll want to make sure that you mark on there what district they're from, so that we can always look it up afterwards, but if you know it and you can mark it down, that's great. But the sign-up sheet is going to be important. And then the final thing that we want you to take with you are copies of our postcards. Most of you, I think, already have those, but we have the postcards that are available, and I can ship those out to you. Now, I'm going to show you briefly by sharing my screen where you can find all of these things as well. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you set up your table. This is an example of a table last year that Rod Funderburk did at his district. And he purchased his own tablecloth. He had, at the time, the older versions of the buckets, but he printed the other sheets to make available on labels in case people wanted to just take some labels. He had play money. He had postcards. He put some money and some tissue paper coming out of the big blue buckets. And he also printed some data in case people had questions about some of the researchers. And I'm going to show you where you can find that as well. But this is a great example of what it looks like. Obviously, everybody's is going to be a little bit different, but that is a great example of a very visually appealing display. And now I'm going to show you where you can find all of those things so that you can download them yourself. If you go to cartfund.org, there are 2 pages that I want to show you. On the grants page, there is an article, a story about grants history. And at the bottom of that page, it says you can download a copy of the complete list of grant recipients since 1999. I don't know if you guys knew that was there, but you can download that anytime. We'll update it again in May of this year. But that is a great place to direct people if they have questions about what university research centers have been funded in the past, or if you want to print one copy and have it with you. The other page on this website is the tab that's called Resources. And if you click on that, there is a plethora of information here that you can download. There is a section called Official Cart Logos. And if you click on that, you will see all of the logos that you can easily download directly from this website. If you scroll down a little farther, there is a line that says resources to download. And this is all of the things that I just discussed that are available for you, including, and I tried to name them exactly what they are, so there won't be any questions. Big bucket, the logo side, or the big bucket, the QR side. or the logo of the cart bucket only, or the logo of the cart logo. There is also a club chair handbook. So if someone says to you, I have not designated a club chair yet, I don't really know what that entails, you could say, I can direct you where to find that handbook, or you could have one copy of it and you could offer to email it to them later. There are the inserts for the clear acrylic boxes that many of you use different sizes of those. If you want to print one of those and have one on display at your table. There is an order form for cups. There is the district chair handbook, which most of you should have seen already. There is the portal manual that most of you have seen already. And then this is the flyer that I mentioned earlier that has a blank space for you to include your sticker. So if you click on that, it will open up and show you, and you can download it directly from there, and you can print it, and you can insert a sticker right here that has your contact information. If you have not gotten it previously with your personal contact information, then and you would like that, let me know, and I will be happy to do that for you. And then also on here, as we mentioned, the QR code labels for the little blue buckets, or the logo labels for the little blue buckets. And there is the front and back of the postcards if you decide that you would like to print some of your own. Although right now I still have plenty, I'm happy to share them. You guys are familiar with the PowerPoint presentation you've been using this year. Also in this display folder is the QR code for the website and a postcard that you can include with a recurring donor pin that you give away. And here is the sign up sheet that I was talking about that you can just download it, print it, and it has a way for them to either put their club or their district. And if you will sign your name and the date so that I know where it came from, you can scan it, take a picture of it, whatever works, and email it to me after the fact. That would be great. And then the tips for a better display, which is the handout of everything that we're going over tonight so that you have it in print in case you want to go back and review it later. So just as a reminder, the place to find this is on the Cart Fund website under the tab that says resources, and you should be able to download anything you need there. Also at the bottom of that page is a link to Civic Swag. It'll take you directly to Civic Swag and all of the cart branded items that we currently have. And if you've been attending some of our meetings recently, you know that we are adding to that on a regular basis. These are the pop-up banners that we have, both a tabletop size and a full stand-up size. We have different versions of tablecloths. We have the enamel generic cart pins, and we have currently a power bank charger if someone would like to have one of those with our cart logo on it. But there will be a lot more materials and branded items and apparel that are being added to the site in the next few weeks. Everyone is tied up with, the vendors are very busy getting ready for all of these pets right now. So they're not up there yet, but we are working on those.
Okay. Thank you.
And the good news is, with the new company, we will not have to wait till the end of the month for everyone to place an order before they ship them all out. It will be on demand. When you order something, it will be shipped to you as soon as you pay for it and order it. In the past, we would have to wait an entire month for everybody to order, and that's not going to be the case. So that's the good news.
Recommendation. Tiffany mentioned a clipboard and the sign-up sheet. My experience has been that if you have more than one clipboard at your table, that is helpful. Particularly, think about the break periods when you have more than one person at the table. If you have multiple sign-up sheets, multiple clipboards, that is very helpful. Encourage people to sign up on those clipboards for things like, do they want buckets in the club? Do they need a program? Do they need a speaker? Would they like to get a newsletter? Those clipboards can be multi-useful if you have them.
And if you have not yet talked to your district governor about either your district assembly training or your district conference, those are, if you are not going to PETS, but you are working in your district, those are the two activities we want to make sure you guys get scheduled for with permission from your district governor line, is to be part of their district training assembly or their district conference, or a pre-PETS or a district pets training, things like that. We are excited about all of our volunteers, and we think we're going to make great strides this year. We've made amazing strides this past year, and it's all because of you guys. Everything that you do, we couldn't do it without you, and we are so grateful and appreciative.